Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo Yoga. Alright, this is a Yoga 7 2-in-1. Let's see the actual model. So the model's tiny here. So there's a Yoga 7 2-in-1, 14AHP9. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this thing up. It looks like we're going to be using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, and this computer isn't turning on, so we're going to see if we see anything strange looking inside. Let's go ahead and remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got 3 here, and then we got 4 here. Alright, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade or repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, there is a little hole here for like it's a 1-key recovery button, so you can use like a folded out paper clip or like a semi-eject tool kind of thing to press that. If the power button's not working, sometimes you can press that and that will turn it on. And yeah, it allows you to access the BIOS, boot menu, and other things like diagnostics, I believe. All right. Okay, also, if you can't contribute by like monetarily, liking and subscribing and commenting always helps. And then I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More, same profile picture but zoomed in. That would really help if you could like and subscribe or watch some videos from there as well. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and pop the cover off. So hopefully we have these 4 screws out. Hopefully we'll be able to pop it out from here. I'm going to get my fingernails in the gap between the bottom cover and the palm rest, and I'm going to push on the palm rest and let's see if it pops out. You don't want to push on the touchpad, just push on the palm rest area. Okay, and it did pop open, you can see. Okay, so we're going to go on the other side here and do the same thing. Just like this. Okay. And it seems, okay, it's a little bit tough to remove, but there we go. Okay, so now that we got the whole front up, usually what I like to do is pull up towards the middle and then push down on the side. It basically bows it in like this, so it pulls the clips away from the sides. And usually that'll work, but not always. So let's see, because I haven't opened this model before. It feels like there's actually some clips in the middle here that might be stuck. So let's go ahead and try working to this side. Okay, you can see how it kind of unclipped over here, and now this lifted out. Okay, we're going to try again on this side, but it didn't work as well. Sometimes you kind of have to slide the rest, but it looks like there's a clip towards the center here, and that might be what's preventing it from coming up. So since we got this side, let's go ahead and work our way towards the back and see if that will help. You can see how it slides down a little bit. So on this one, it looks like we have to actually slide this portion down that way, but I don't know how we'll do it if the clips here in the middle are holding it. You can see how it moves a little bit outwards here. Okay, but not completely because those other clips here. So I guess we're gonna have to try and just work our way up the side and see if we can pop the clips. Oh, actually, it's coming out slightly. Oops, I accidentally clipped some back in, so there we go. And now let's kind of wiggle it and see if we can pull it up. Sometimes the clip, we might have to slide it the other way, or we might have to kind of lift from here and then push down to make it bulge or in that way to pull that side in. Let's see. And yep, that unclipped the middle. So basically we pulled it in this way so that the clip that was probably hooking in like this, or actually probably hooking in like this, went that way and it pulled it away. So let's go ahead and take a look. And here you can see the clip here, and yeah, you see how it has this hook. So that was basically hooking in this way. Okay, so anyways, after that, this piece slides out and then the whole panel comes off. So here's what it looks like inside. I'm hoping that there's just some temporary short in here somewhere, and if we're lucky, disconnecting the battery and draining the power will get it to power back up. I don't see anything strange in here. This little button says reset here, but I don't think that's going to reset anything. I'm going to try pressing it. That's the 1-key recovery button. So I'll try pressing it for a few seconds. Sometimes holding this for like 5-10 seconds will help it reset. Alright, and if nothing happens, then I think Yeah, nope, no lights, nothing. Okay, so let's go ahead and start taking things out. It looks like there's a separate CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery here. So we're gonna actually disconnect that battery to try and reset the BIOS. So we just get the wings here, and I just like to wiggle it, all right, like this as I pull, and there we go. Take note that the black wire is going towards this way and the red wire is going towards this side with the reset thing, because sometimes if you get a replacement battery, they might have these switched around, and you might have to actually switch the wires inside there. If you're wondering how you do that, you see this little white tab here. I use a needle and then pry it up slightly as I can, and then I can pull those things out. But anyways, that's that. It looks like this board is a separate board. So this board with the USB, the whole thing came out. I didn't know it would come off. I thought it was going to stay attached to the fan, but we'll set that aside for now. Okay, so this board with the USB 3.0 port, as well as the micro SD card, I believe, and the power button is on a separate board itself. So this is actually replaceable. You can actually flip this latch up and pull this cable out, but we're going to leave that in there for now. Okay. We just disconnected the BIOS battery. Let's go ahead and disconnect the main battery as well. So this one, usually I'll try and get underneath and then get as close as I can to the connector. All right, and then what I do is I try and wiggle it side to side like this way. Okay, and you can see how it walks itself out. All right, and there we go. We got the battery disconnected. After disconnecting both batteries, I like to open up the laptop and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. All right, this makes it a lot safer to work on the computer. And yeah, just do it. It's only 15 seconds. Some people ask me if they need to do this. If you're not going to take 15 seconds to make sure your computer doesn't break, then you probably shouldn't even be opening your computer. All right, anyways, there we go. That should be more than 15 seconds. Let me see. Let's go ahead and zoom out a bit, and then we're going to go ahead and take out the main battery just so we can see underneath. Most likely, we aren't going to really have anything to do under there, but let's go ahead and see. All right, is this a PH1 or PH0? Okay, it looks like we have to use a PH0 or JIS0 screwdriver to remove the screws holding the battery in place. So let's go ahead and get those out. It looks like there's 3 screws on top. Again, keep the screws in order. They are different size, shape, and length than the bottom case cover screws. So again, you don't want to mix up the screws. I always keep them in order by putting them in the pattern I remove them. Okay, so now that we got those 3 screws out, I'm assuming we can go underneath this little tab, lift it up. You can go under any of them, and then we got to slide this out slightly because these little tabs stick out into the plastic and hold it in place. The battery model number is right there, L22D4PA1. So if you need to replace the battery, that's the model number. You do want to check actually your battery just in case you have a slightly different model or something. Maybe something might be different. Okay, so usually I would recommend checking your own devices if you can. Some people, they don't want to open it twice, but it's always a good idea to open it, find out you get the right part, and then order the right part instead of relying on what you see in this video. All right, you got the fingerprint sensor here, 1 screw here. This metal plate comes up slightly and pulls out, and then you can take that out. There's a flip latch there to pop that, and then you can pull the connector out. Flip latch here, that goes to the motherboard or logic board, whatever you want to call this. Keyboard connectors here, the flip latch is on the opposite side. Keyboard backlight connector, also flip latch on the other side. And then the touchpad, trackpad connector, flip latch is there. And the other end goes here and flips there. Okay. What else do we got in here? Speaker. Okay. It's just held in with these little rubber things. And then there's a little part of this plastic that sticks out over it to help hold it. You got this wire going all the way over here to the other speaker. Same thing, and then they both connect to the motherboard logic board right there. That comes out just like the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery. One other thing, to make sure that the BIOS resets, I'm actually going to short the 2 pins here. Okay, so basically just get something that's metal and conducts electricity, or technically doesn't have to be metal. As long as it conducts electricity, short the 2 pins together and hold that for a few seconds, and then that should reset the BIOS. And we can actually go ahead and plug this back in. So just line that back up. And then I like to pinch the 2 pieces together, just like this. Okay, the reason I pinch it is because sometimes if you push it like this, if the solder is bad here, it'll rip this connector off the board. I've seen it happen. So yeah, it's pretty rare, but I mean, why take that risk? All right, you got the, I believe this is the LCD LVDS. Actually, this is FP. No, that's fingerprint. This one is connected underneath something. So there's this flip latch. If you're going to mess with this, again, make sure you disconnected the main battery and then press and held the power button for at least 15 seconds. Also make sure that the, that the plug isn't connected. I want to see under here. Okay, there's nothing there. I was hoping that it had a little writing there to tell me what this connector is, but most likely this is for the webcam, possibly the touchscreen digitizer. But yeah, this goes into the screen, but it's too small to be the screen's actual connector, the LCD panel or whatever panel they're using. All right, so again, push that back in and then flip that latch back down. All right, so we're gonna carefully peel this up. You wanna be careful at the sharp points because if you just pull straight up, it will actually tear on those corners. Not that it really matters because this piece of plastic isn't really important. Oh, shoot, I missed one. See, I almost tore this little corner. You can see how since I just pulled on it, it kind of started to like, not really, well, I guess almost tearing. But shoot, I can't even get under this thing. Okay, well, Lenovo, they designed this thing so that you can't really peel this up easily. So let's go ahead and peel from this side. Alright, if you're wondering, no, the RAM is not replaceable. I see no replaceable RAM in here. Alright, this is the wireless card here. So, alright. Fan connector is underneath the adhesive thing here. The two wireless antennas are here. They are underneath a little clear plastic thing. You'd have to peel this out and then you can pull the antennas out. The antennas, the way you remove it, you go from the tail and then just pull straight up. Alright, and there's two. What is going on? Alright, you got an SSD here. It's a smaller, oops, sorry, you can't even see. It's a smaller SSD, not full size. I don't know what the actual length of this is. They measure it by millimeters, but it looks to be half size, which I think is a 40. So I think it's 2240, do they say here? 2346, is that the length? I don't know. They don't say here, do they? But pretty sure it's the half-sized one, which I think normally it's 80 millimeters. All right, anyways, we're going to go ahead and put this back because I don't see anything weird there. And yeah, this is the LCD LVDS connector. Oops, as you can see. I don't know what Oreo's barking at or growling at, but all right, we're going to flip this latch and just make sure this cable is in properly because for some reason this line doesn't look like it's lined up right. Oh, okay, this thing just came out anyways. So we're gonna stick this back down. I don't know why they use these random things. If you lose this piece or get it dirty or whatever, it doesn't stick, you can just throw it away. I don't think it does anything. I've never seen, like most computers don't even have this. Pretty sure it doesn't do anything. Maybe it helps with some thermal dissipation, but this shouldn't be getting that hot. All right, anyways, this black plastic also, I think it's just their way to know that you did something, that you opened it up. All right, I think that's all the components in here. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see if any lights come on, since we did reset the BIOS or the CMOS BIOS and we did disconnect both batteries. So I'm gonna plug in a power cable here, and nope, no light is coming on. So most likely the motherboard on this thing is toast. We'll try pressing the power button, see if anything happens. No lights, nothing. Nope. So somehow they fried the motherboard. Maybe there was some power surge or something, and that might have caused it to overload something, or sometimes it's just bad design. I don't see any signs of liquid or moisture or anything here. So yeah, I don't know. But I don't see any signs of anything that could be causing the problem that it's having. So sadly, it looks like this thing is just toast, right? How is this thing on here? Wait, what? Was it like this? I think so. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this was on here like that. Alright, so I guess we'll just put this thing back together. Sadly, it looks like it's a motherboard, logic board issue. The charge ports are part of the logic board or motherboard, so yeah. The inside is super clean, doesn't have a bunch of dust or anything, so I don't know. It's kind of a bad design, whatever happened to it. I'm assuming it's some kind of bad design where it didn't detect a power surge or whatever. Some component is just faulty in here. So I'm gonna have to let the customer know. Sadly, if it's not in warranty, then I'm gonna have to see if my partner can do a board repair. He doesn't record his work, so I don't have any of those kinds of videos, but yeah. Anyways, we'll get that in. So again, you go in at an angle, get those little tabs underneath this portion, and then we just go around the edges, push down and in towards the center, just like this, to click it all back into place. Okay, obviously the middle one as well. There you go. And then we just get all those screws. Oh, whoops, I forgot to reconnect the battery screws. All right, now we gotta pop this all back open again. Okay, repeat. Okay, you already saw it, so I'm not gonna worry about having you guys in view of the camera. But let's see if it comes apart easier than last time. Okay, it came apart easier than last time. The middle clip was easier to pull out. Maybe because I didn't latch the battery down, so I think the middle latches onto this part of the battery, so yeah. So actually not having the battery screws in made it easy to open. That dumb middle screw, that's the pain. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this back in, and now you'll probably hear the middle screw click in more loudly. But let's go ahead and do the sides again. It might automatically click in. Yeah, it was a bit louder now. It felt a bit stronger, that little clip. And that's pretty much it. You're welcome to stay as I get the last few screws back in. But yeah, that's all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. I know somebody's probably going to ask about the RAM because I didn't mention it. It's soldered to the motherboard, logic board, whatever you want to call it. It's not upgradable. Well, technically, I guess anything is upgradable if you have the skill set to do it. But if you're going to ask, then no, you cannot upgrade the RAM. Alright, so anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, again, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Again, every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also, again, have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. Same profile picture, but zoomed in because it's a close look at stuff. Currently, I'm posting those videos on here as well, but hopefully I'll eventually split that off. So yeah, if you can like and watch videos on that channel, and then subscribe and like and comment on those as well, that'll really help me out. Anyways, again, that's pretty much it. We'll plug this in one more time just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it's dead. And yeah, all right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.